It's Team List Tuesday, and Ben Hornby has named Cody Walker at 7 and Jack Whiten at 6 again, just like he did last week. But the difference is Cody looks fit to play this week. I was out there yesterday at the Rabbitoh Centre. Cody was running freely. He was on the field, kicking the ball, hitting the tackling bags. So Cody Walker is in no doubt to take his place with the 7 jersey for the mighty South Sydney Rabbitohs on Saturday up on the Gold Coast at 3 p.m. And it's a must-win game. I've said this on my Sunday show. Also, Jack Whiten looks like he's been through the HIA protocol. He left the field with a head knock against the Eels, but he's back too. So it's exciting. This halves pairing, it could be anything. There was some speculation that Ben Hornby might pick Latrell at 5'8". He's resisted that temptation, even though he said he loves seeing him there. And so did we all. But he'll be at fullback. Now, I'll just bring up the team if you haven't seen it. Latrell Mitchell at the back. Alex Johnston on the verge of going to second all-time in the try scorers list. He's on the wing with Gags, Jacob Gagai. In the centres, Tane Milne and Richie Kenner. There's the halves pairing, and Cody Walker's got the captaincy. Front row, we've got Davey Mawale, Sean Kepi, and Damien Cook-Hooker. Second row, Michael Cheekham, Jai Arrow, and Keon Kalaumatangi at lock. On the bench, Pete Mamazelos, Talis Duncan, Saliva Havili, and Thomas Burgess. The extended bench is Dion Tiapa, Leon LeBlanc, Adam Christensen, Leon Teho, and Bailey Bentley Hape. So there you go. It's exciting. We've had a win, and we won by 16 points and got the 2 points. So that means that we're starting to turn things around. There's a change in attitude. And I'm going to have a chat about that in a sec. But welcome to everyone who's live chatting. Karina Haase from Germany was all the way in the chat early and said, Guten Morgen. So good morning to you over there in Germany. We've also got Matt Dixon. And I'll just show you Karina's comment. There we go to everyone. So from Germany to Australia, Guten Morgen to you. Nicky Bird's in there. Let's go. And I did see son Thomas running around on the field out there. And here he is. Matt Dixon said the same question the other day. Similar question. Is Cody playing at 7? Jack Whiten playing at 6? Yes. That is the breaking news. And look, I thought Jack Whiten was going incredibly well at 6 before he left the field. He did that kick where he chased it and made the tackle, and you know, he might not be doing that out in the centre. So to seeing him have more ball is really good, and it's going to be exciting to see. Now, we want this team to fire up on Saturday. We want them to play like Keon did last week and run for hundreds of metres and over 20 runs, heaps of tackles. Get right amongst it. And like I said, we saw a change in attitude against the Eels, but now it's time for this South Sydney team to build on that and strike fear into the opposition again. They need to bleed red and green for their brothers alongside them and refuse to accept defeat. We need to torment, tame, and terrorise the Titans up there on the Gold Coast on Saturday. It's like a home game. We've got so many Rabbitohs fans up there. Forget bend it like Beckham. Let's compete like Keon. Let's bunker down and make a charge. And I've got an operation here I'm going to put forward to you. It's Operation 8 Points, codenamed LFGR. Let's frickin' go Rabbitohs. Or insert your own F word in there. We are unaffected by the Origin series. So this is a golden opportunity. We've got 3 games coming up and then the bye. This is the 8 points that we can get. We are still, however, last on the ladder with a 2-9 record, the same as the West Tigers. The West Tigers are minus 95 and we're minus 170. So it's a mountain to climb. But like I said, there's 8 points on offer. So, okay, South Sydney Rabbitohs, if you're watching this is your mission, should you choose to accept it. avoid the wooden spoon like the plague. Start climbing the NRL ladder and leapfrog teams like the Titans, Eels, West Tigers, Warriors, and Dragons. Make a charge. Number 1, it's round 14. We beat the Titans on the Gold Coast on Saturday. We can do that. Number 2, next week, the Broncos come down to our home ground where we play well. We beat them. Number 3, the week later, another home game against the Sea Eagles. Another game we can win. And then round 17, the bye. There's 8 points. Back on track. Now, we'll take on these teams with or without Cam Murray. We didn't have him last week and we won. We didn't have Cody last week and we won. Without Jai Gray or Campbell Graham, with or without them. It won't matter if Renault plays for the Broncos or Tommy Turbo plays for the Sea Eagles. I hope they do, because they know the Rabbits are coming and we're on a charge. Fire up. Like I said, I was watching some old Origin games on Fox League, and here's Cookie scoring a great individual try for the Blues. They didn't want him for this season, this series. They didn't want Jai Arrow. Cam's injured, I know. They didn't want Latrell. We've got him for our team. They didn't want Cody. It is a big opportunity for us to make a charge. Then, without getting ahead of ourselves, after that bye, then 8 points, we've got the Eels again. And then the Dolphins and West Tigers. And they're all very winnable games. So then 8 points becomes double figures. Like I said, LFGR, let's freaking go Rabbitohs. There is no tomorrow. Run up the steps like Rocky and hold your fists in the air. South Sydney, you can do it. So I am fired up. And I've got a quote here by the great Winston Churchill. He says, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." So let's look for that courage and some pride in the jersey. Get off the bottom of the ladder. We're not getting the wooden spoon. And make a charge and strike fear into these other teams that the Rabbitohs are coming. And they've got to play the Rabbitohs and say, oh, you know, nothing worse. We've got these Rabbits, they're on the charge. They've got a point to prove. And like the great Glenn Shorrock once said, hang on, help is on its way. So like I said, we've got Cam Murray injured, but he was back running yesterday. And have a look at this. Got a few clips from yesterday. Here's Cam, Jai, Hazen Mellors, and Thomas Fletcher. So I did hear someone say that Cam could be back next week. Jai back from syndesmosis, running on the field. It's encouraging. Big Hazen, he's back in the flag side. I'm going to look at the pathways in a minute too. And Big Tommy, hopefully he's back sooner rather than later. And I have got a few more comments in there, but David Gardner's joined me all the way from New Zealand. He said, hey, Marvo, exciting team. Marvellous, Marvo, yes. And Dad said it's great to see Tommy running freely. No worries, mate. It was great. Very good. And Michael Tasker's joined us. He said, hey, Mavo, I would rather see Latrell and Jack change position, and then maybe they will during the game. Well, look, I thought maybe Latrell to 6, Jack back to the centres, and AJ to fullback, but it didn't happen. And I can understand why, because, you know, he wants to give Jack and Cody a chance in the halves, and it could be magic. Let's hope. And Boo Carnes joined us on Facebook. Hello there, mate. He said, love the lineup this week. South Sydney till I die. Glory, glory to South Sydney. Yes, South Sydney marches on. And Matt Dixon just said, when does Cam come back? And like I said, someone said next week. I'm not sure. But the fact that he was out there running after this hip flexor injury, very encouraging. And I was quite surprised to see young Jai out there, because last I heard he's had syndesmosis and he's had an operation. And next minute he's on the field catching balls, running, smiling, waving, and it was good to see. So that was good. Also, I did have a quick chat to the big fella, Shaq. And Shaq Mitchell told me that he might only be 1 or 2 weeks away. Now, he's running here with Tai, and it was good to see him out there too, but I'm not sure how long he will be. Just in a little canter there, Tai. The ball. So if we get big Shaq back in, if you remember, when Shaq got injured and hurt his calf, he had a good game the week before. So that was very encouraging. The other guy I saw a few of the other guys while I was there waiting for the interviews. Junior Tatalo was still wheeling around on one leg on a mobility scooter, so he's not back anytime soon, if at all. And I also saw Tass and Lockie Ilias walking around in crutches, and they said, "How you going?" I said, "Well, I think I'm going as good as you." And we had a laugh, and Tass had a moon boot on, and Lockie didn't, but I don't know if those guys are back anytime soon either. I did interview Jai Arrow yesterday, and it's his 150th NRL game. So on top of all this, we've had milestone games back to back. It was Cookie, and then there's been a few, and Jack Whiten played his 250th, and now Jai Arrow, who started his career at the Broncos in 2016, moved to the Gold Coast, and now he's played his most first grade with the Rabbits, and said in his interview he loves it here in Sydney. He's looking forward to going up there to the Gold Coast, seeing some family, seeing his mum, and apparently they've got the Jai Arrow t-shirts to wear. So we'll look forward to seeing that on telly, or if you're up there, get a photo of the family wearing the Jai Arrow shirts, and we'll put that up on Bunnies TV. Now, when I spoke to Jai, the players were all standing, like they'd finished training, and a few of them, what they do quite often is try and gee the boys up when they're getting interviewed and distract them. So just as he got distracted, I asked him a question about Keon, and he was just sort of went straight through because he was distracted by what the boys were doing. So it's quite funny, and he has a laugh here. So have a look at this.
Every 14.9 games to score a try.
Nice. And Keon was sensational at lock. Scored a double.
Yeah.
So Keon had a great game.
Oh, he did. He did. And I think
boys are geeing you up over there.
I know. I think Keon's found a home in the middle, even though if you ask him, he's probably filthy about it. But that's what happens when you score 2 tries, run over 200 metres and make 30-plus tackles. So It looks like Keon will be stuck in the middle for the rest of the year, the big fella.
Yep. So there you go. It was quite funny that he was laughing his head off, and he didn't hear the question, like I said, but then he switched on and he gave me a good answer about Keon. And like I said, forget bend it like Beckham. Compete like Keon did out there against the Eels. Be pushing your mates aside to run 20-something times and run for 200 metres and putting shots on and making 30 tackles. He played 80 minutes, Keon, and he won that Eric Sims medal, and there's no more deserving bloke. And that's the Keon we want to see, the mascot junior, the bloke that played Origin last year. So it's going to be a big match, and, yeah, I just want to bring something else up now. On my Sunday show, thanks to everyone who's been having a watch of that, I did talk about the women's team, and there's a young lady that we've got called Kiana Takarangi, who is Brad Takarangi's sister. She's played NRLW, and I was unfortunately calling her Kiara because we've got another girl called Kiara McGregor, the youngster. So I just made this little thing up just to show you that I do know that it is Kiana. So she has come over to our women's team with thanks to Coach Jason Dorahy, with Madison Studden, and both of those girls have got experience at the highest level. So we're hoping that our women's team have some success this year. Now I've tightened up the chair, so I'm not falling backwards too. So you can rest easy that we're all right here. Now let's have a look at some more comments. Thank you to everyone who's live chatting. We are brought to you by the Juniors group of clubs. You can see it on the banner there. Go up and watch Origin at the juniors tomorrow, and they've got half-price drinks, $16 pizzas, and you buy a tap beer and you go in the sweep for first try. So a few great things at the juniors, and it's cheap to be a member of the juniors. It's the best value club anywhere. And Karina's, who is a channel member, you can see the little icon next to her name there. Congrats to Jai for his 150th game this week. So I always try and do some special content for the members, behind the scenes stuff. And thank you for supporting me here on Bunnies TV. Matt Dixon said, who are we signing for the Rabbitohs next year? Well, we have got Lewis Dodd, the halfback, signed, sealed and delivered. And there was some speculation about Ewan Aitken, but I'm sure Coach Wayne Bennett and the retention staff might have a few tricks up their sleeve. Maybe a few of the guys that are there now have had the tap on the shoulder and said, we're going to have a look at it. And this might help in the run. This might help in the Operation 8 points that I've said over the next 4 weeks and then beyond, where we've got not a bad run. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I did only say let's avoid the wooden spoon, but hang on a minute. If we do start winning some games, we can start climbing that ladder, and then finals footy is not out of the question. And for those that backed us at whatever we are, a couple 100-1, they'll be cheering. Don't get ahead of ourselves. Let's just beat the Titans, right? And the Broncos is going to be a hard game. They're a good side, no doubt about it. But at home, we play well, like I said. We've got the team. We're unaffected by Origin. It can be done. The other thing I didn't mention, speaking about Origin, is I talked about the men's Origin on my Sunday show, but I forgot to talk about the women's, and that's an important game that's coming up on Thursday because this is the first year the women's Origin is being played as a 3-game like the men's. And the Blues went up to Queensland for game 1, and they weren't favourites, and they absolutely played unbelievable footy. People were raving about the game. There was length of the field tries and a beautiful ball on the inside for a crash under the posts and next to the posts, and they played well, the Blues. And that game on Thursday, they will look to win that and clinch the series. So it's good to see the women's game is evolving, and it's not good that we haven't got an NRLW team, but let's hope we have sooner rather than later. And like I said, you can look out for more coverage of our women's team. And TSG's joined us. Hello, mate. On YouTube there, the little YouTube icon. He said, is Marshall coming with Bennett? Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think Benji's putting the boots back on. And I'd say be at the Tigers they'll give him another year or two to get their act together over there. But that's our first team that we need to leapfrog. We're both on 2 and 9. Dreadful. But they've got a better differential. Like I said, they're minus 95. We're minus 170. So we need to win games, and we need to start working on that differential and turning it around. But it can happen because we have got the team to do it. There is no doubt about that. Men's Origins tomorrow, and it's going to be a great game. And I did ask Jai Arrow about it, and thanks for giving me your time yesterday, Jai. I did it on the main presser because there was no journos around at the Rabbitoh Centre, and I was just going to do it on my own because the Channel 9 camera was there, but there was no journo. So I don't know where Dan Wilder was or some of the others, Danica. They must have been, covering Origin or something like that. But so I was just going to do it, and then another journo arrived at the last minute. So I did jump in and sort of ran that. But Jai was good, as you saw. And I did ask him about Billy going for the 3 forwards on the bench and Selwyn Cobbo, winger centre. Whereas we've got a powerful bench. Our bench is Isaiah, Olakawatu, Spencer Linu, and Hudson Young. All 4 of those blokes are absolute stars. So we have got a powerful bench and a strong side. Let's go the Blues. Teddy's come in, and even though he's a rooster, we all seen what Teddy can do. Teddy is a freakish player, and he's going to get in there, and you know what he's going to do. He's going to run the ball all day, and hopefully he's making line breaks, and we beat the Queenslanders. Game 2 is in Melbourne, so it's like a neutral venue. So it'll be a big advantage if we get this first one. It's going to be huge. Oh, so Mike Tasker said, I think he means Marshall King. Oh, well, there you go. Is he going to bring Marshall? Oh, I'm hearing. All right. Well, Well, usually when you say Marshall, there's only one Benji Marshall, but Marshall King he'd be good. Jeremy Marshall King, good player. So it is going to be interesting to see, what the super coach does. And he's got a bit of a record of doing that. He coaches the teams and then he goes, come with me. And so we'll see. And Clayton Ives has joined us. Hello, buddy. And he said, I reckon Tallis Duncan will have a blinder big time. Well, I thought he went exceptionally well stats-wise out there against the Eels, coming off the bench. And so, like I said, it was just a bit better. Sean Kepi, scores a try. That was his best game in the red and green colours. Cookie was good too. Trell Met putting up bombs and little kicks in behind the play. There were some great performances there. And, AJ scoring his 190th. If he scores one more, he'll go to 191 and be second all time on the try scoring list. And, I'll put up another post on it and it'll go gangbusters because all the fans in PNG love him. And that was well done by him and Kepi, who went over to PNG. And there's one other player I saw in the photo. And, they just love their rugby league over there. So we'll see what happens there as far as a team. I did ask AJ about that, and he thinks it's a natural thing. It's the only nation that has their number one sport as rugby league. And if they get a team, it will be very interesting because I think it'll grow the game internationally. And those fans are mad. I have played over there and there was a riot after the game. So hopefully we won't see any of that. But yeah. Oh, and the goat too. So I don't know if he'd be bringing back the goat. Big Nico. That'll be interesting to see. Yeah, and then Matt Dixon said, yeah, Marshall King. Yeah, there you go. So interesting stuff. I did buy my 2024 Mark Hughes Foundation beanies the other day. I was going to wear them in the show, but when I was getting prepared, I forgot. So they are nice dark brown. I got mine at IGA at Botany. So it's not this week. I think it's next weekend anyway. So I'll wear them on the next show, on the Sunday show or something like that. But they are good quality, the Mark Hughes Foundation, and they are, trying to beat cancer. And, that's a great cause to support and get a nice beanie because it's been chilly the last few days. So it'll be very handy. New South Wales Cup. And they're on Monday, public holiday, when the Doggies take on the Eels. And the team here, Dion Tialpa's dropped back and he's got the 6 jersey with him and Jarrett Sablu, whichever way. I think Albie on the call was saying Sablu, but I don't know. I have to ask him. So, yeah, Dion will be the first cup game he's played for a few weeks. And that's a strong side. And I will just bring up my Bunnies TV article. So I just published my Bunnies TV article before I went to air, and I put all the teams in there and have a little bit of a say. I'll get the official team list. Yeah, so New South Wales Cup, the Rabbitohs are coming 8th and the Bulldogs are 6th. So should be a close game out there at Accor Stadium, and it's going to be live on Foxtel. So you'll be able to watch it for those that have got Foxtel. Okay. And we'll just move on to the Jersey flag. They're on Friday night out there at Belmore Sports Ground. And this is interesting because we've got Bailey Smith has been given his chance. He's up from SG ball. He's recovered from his leg injury. He's been playing well off the bench. And he's been handed the number 7 jersey after they were demoralised last week by the West Tigers. So Coach Tippy's made a few changes, and you don't blame him. He's given a few guys a chance. He's switched Carson Cahoon to fullback, and Hazen Mellors is back. Good on you, mate. Well, good to see you back. TJ Herring's come in at hooker. Jared Johnson's going to start, and there's a couple of new names on the bench. Palu Tosala and Jerem Lole Negarima. So it's going to be a tough one because the Bulldogs are coming 2nd and we are coming 8th on the table. So a stiff test there for the boys, but good luck to Bailey on his flag starting debut. And let's hope he can spark them out there and the boys put on a bit of a better showing than they did it was horrendous conditions at Redfern on Saturday. It was, the rain just kept coming and coming, but so did the tries from the West Tigers. So I think the Bear will have them on the tackling bags this week of training, and hopefully they can turn a few things around. All right, so yeah, TSG said something about don't consume vegetable oils and you reduce your chance of getting cancers by 95%. Yeah, well, there you go. I think they say that olive oils are better, like European diet, Mediterranean. I think maybe coconut oil. So, but that's another story. I think probably eat well and don't drink as much and stay out of the sun. Slip, slap too. That'll help you as well. And Karina Haza said, a good list for the team. Good luck to them. Yes, it is. So, all right. Thanks to everyone for joining me. I think we got through it all. I did get a bit fired up at the start of the show. There's where you can follow me and subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And this week I hit 15,000 followers on Facebook, and I'm, like I told you before, I'm getting millions of interactions. So that's very pleasing that people are liking the content that I'm putting up on Bunnies TV. I'm also getting some stuff from Oscar Zechner. Thanks to you, mate. He's doing some really good edits. His edits are getting better all the time. And I put a couple up today that he did, a couple that I did, and that's a lot of fun. And we like creating content here on Bunnies TV that people like seeing, and that will continue. Let's get on this charge, like I said. Operation 8 points. It'd be nice to get them and then get in to some more wins after the bye. We might not get them all, but if we can win the majority of them, we can get our season back on track and turn it around in our favour. I'll let you go. There is no tomorrow. Let's go, Rabbitohs. See you later.